Before we officially get started, it would help if you could print out the file labeled for your notes, and colored pencils would help also. So pause maybe and go get those, please. Welcome back. Those supplies really will help make it go faster. So, why is this the graph of a periodic function and this one is not? This one has a repeated up and down pattern. This one repeatedly has an up and down pattern. But a periodic function has to have a repeated identical pattern. Each block, each cycle is the same as the previous one. It's like cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste. And the y values remain the same. Over here, even though there is a repeated pattern of up and down, each cycle is not identical. The y values are not the same. So this is not a periodic function. Although some mathematicians call this periodic in nature, it is still not a periodic function. So why do we bother to study these periodic functions? Well, they can be used to represent many naturally occurring phenomena. One example, the tides. If you live in a state like Delaware, that's significant. We go about twice a day from high tide to mean tide to low tide, to mean tide to high tide, to mean tide to low tide, to mean tide to high tide, and so on, day after day, century after century. Between high tide to high tide, or low tide to low tide, it's about 12.4 hours. It varies depending upon what place you are on the planet. A local waterman told me that around here it's about 12 hours, 22 minutes. And 22 minutes is pretty close to 4/10 of an hour. Another example, you may have noticed that lately their sunlight is lasting longer in the evening. And if you get up early, that it's a little earlier for the daylight for the sun to rise. So that's another periodic function. In the northern hemisphere, we have our shortest hours of daylight right around December 21st. And then slowly we pick up minutes until we meet around March 21st. We have the equinox. And then we keep picking up minutes and minutes and minutes until we peak. Around June 21st is our longest day. And then we start losing minutes right away. September, another equinox. December, greatest darkness. And then back again, springtime, summer, back again to December, over and over and over again. And the period for this, of course, is 1 year. We also have alternating current, which in the United States is the basic way we get our electricity. And periodic functions represent hundreds and hundreds of other things that are measured in waves. So once again, please go get the file for your notes.